the damn Chiefs earlier this year.
The fucking Saints just missed a field goal. It's so fucking pissed off. So stupid. That's like their luck this year, bro. Even if their star kicker has been out for the season, bro. Like they just suck, man. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! Please, when you do this, I need you to run it back, like at least twice in the video where you like just your whole reaction. This shit was hilarious.
I will, bro. Oh, it's so irritating. That was like a 20-yard field goal, motherfucker. Okay. But the Rams.
What up, though?
Who are these Lions, though?
Bruh.
They're like, hey, let's get up when it doesn't matter, I guess.
I mean, they're playing like third string, so.
Yeah, bro.
Do it count?
Yeah. I think the Green Bay's on their drive right now. Lions just got the ball back. It's over, huh?
Yeah, he threw a pick.
Jordan Love. Why were they even playing Rodgers to begin with?
I think they wanted Rodgers to give Adams that completion. Going to break the record, Jordy Nelson's record.
Gotcha.
For the most yards in the Packers season. So I think it's like catches and like yards and stuff like that. So,
you know, bro, I was at the gym today and I was thinking about that because everyone's talking about Cooper Kupp, and I'm like, I mean, it's really cool, but then I realized again, I was like, we have an extra game this season, so like, how are we?
He even said it.
No,
he
that's
said
good.
The exact same thing.
Good.
Yeah, he was like, I mean, he's like, it's a cool record, and I appreciate it. He was like, but he was like, we're comparing this to guys that did this in the 16 game season.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, because there was like catches that Michael Thomas had, I think yards that Calvin had. So,
yeah, he's right there. I think he needs like 13 to beat Michael Thomas, but he needs like 140 to beat Calvin or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, it's still gonna be tough for him though.
Yeah, that's who are they playing? The Niners.
Yeah, so still gonna be, and the Niners got to win. I think.
Yeah,
to get in. So
Niners and Saints are the only thing left that's pretty crucial. Actually, Houston is balling right now.
They are like Indy is wetting the bed so bad right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, bro.
Like they're getting their ass kicked by Jacksonville, and then I don't even understand how Houston came back.
Yeah, I saw like 21-0 when I got in the shower. And then I got out of the shower and it was like 18-21. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
And then this Pittsburgh and Baltimore game is close.
And what will that determine? Because right now I think, is Baltimore in?
Neither of them are in, but situations are happening. Like if Indy loses, they're out.
Okay.
And then you still have LA, and you have the Chargers and the Raiders that still have to play later on today too. So you figure one of those teams will end up at 10-7. And then
you're right.
Whatever happens, potentially Baltimore or Pittsburgh can get in.
Because Colts are about to lose. Like, there's no way they're winning this game. They're down 15 with 4 minutes left.
And that's one of the scenarios that Baltimore needs to happen.
So Pittsburgh has a shot, huh?
Yeah, like especially, and the thing is because of that tie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they legit have a better chance than Baltimore does if they win because of that tie.
Gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I've got a little bracket thing I found, but like I guess it's kind of like up, and I'll share it and you can see we can kind of look at it. But I guess we're gonna have to play like scenario on it because it depends.
Yeah, a lot of that is gonna change because I don't believe Indy is going to make it.
Yeah, so in that Indy spot, would that move the Buffalo New England matchup, or would that stay the same and just Indy would be replaced by Baltimore?
So they're set. Buffalo and New England would be set. It could just change those last two matchups because Indy could potentially fall off. Chargers win, they would move up, and then Let me see.
And then if the Titans lose, they'd switch on this bracket with the Chiefs right there, right? To 2, and they'd
Correct.
play the
Yep.
second.
And then it could either be if the Chargers win, they would go up to the 6, and then it could be either whoever wins this game between Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Yeah. What's that score looking like? Oh, that's a close one, man. Holy shit.
It is.
All right, we should hold off on this then for like 15 minutes so we can kind of get like a better picture of what this is, and then we can
like it's about to get real crazy after these games finish and like what happens, bro.
Yeah, because in the next like 15 minutes we should be pretty secure in the AFC, right? What's going on? Because we'll know who won Steelers, Ravens. We'll know who won with the Titans, Texans.
Yeah, and then it's just gonna come down to it more so with that Chargers and Raiders matchup is just really about where they fall in the seeding, whether it's the 6th or the 7th.
I gotcha.
But everybody else is literally playing for their playoff lives.
Yeah, definitely. I think NFC is pretty much set. This will be the same, right? Aside from maybe San Francisco would bump out. But again, I don't think that means that this would just switch. I don't think it would be Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. I think New Orleans would play someone else, wouldn't they? Or would they immediately play Tampa Bay?
I think would Philly move to the
Philly lost last night.
Let me see. Yeah, so I don't know how. Let me see what they said.
Ooh, but maybe if San Francisco wins, no, that wouldn't matter. That wouldn't drop the Rams lower than the Bucks, would it?
Yeah. It would drop the Rams down to that 3 seed, and if y'all win, they would move you up to the 2.
Yeah.
Or not you, but move Tampa Bay up to the 2 seed. But
but if they tie, if they both win today, then LA gets it because they beat Tampa Bay like week 2, didn't they? Or week 3? Remember that?
Yeah.
They like stomped them.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a good playoffs, man. I'm excited, bro.
It is.
There's a lot going on here.
And that just that getting that one team that gets a bye is just adding a whole nother level of complexity. But like, cause we're getting games. What is it? Friday?
Yeah, some crazy games? Shit. Yeah. Let's see.
Which is gonna be like kind of exciting. No, it's just on Saturday. It's still Saturday.
Nope, Saturday.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm all right with that though.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And then we have our first Monday night wildcard game ever next Monday. I know,
that's what it is. It's just that Monday night game.
So that'll be crazy. And then we got National Championship coming up Tuesday.
Yeah, man. No, it's tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
It is on Monday.
Any difference there in your opinion, or do you still think Alabama's going to win that?
Oh, I don't see anything kind of changing. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be. I think their offense is just so potent, even without John Mechie.
Yeah, but that's the matchup right there. Their offense versus Georgia's D is what's.
That's cool. What it is, and I just think that because the thing is that Bama's defense, I mean, it's solid, but like it's been a bit more porous this year. But when they came up against that matchup in the SEC championship, like Georgia got on them early, but then after that, it was like that D lockdown.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Stinson Bennett couldn't do anything.
Not at all.
Like he threw for a bunch of yards, but it was just like it was meaningless.
Yeah, kind of empty calorie shit.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, I'm excited to watch the game. Though it's gonna be I definitely feel like it's gonna be a dogfight, bro.
It will, man. That's gonna be a really good one. It's I gotta figure out what time that is here. It's a whole different world out here.
So it is. The game is at 8. So what, 6 your time?
Yeah. That's so weird. Just right after work. Okay, cool. Not used to this shit still, man. This is like the first season of just, right after work, football.
You got to jump right on it. Like,
yeah, man. It's not like you have time anymore. It's kind of cool, but because I hate like staying up really late to watch it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But
that is a benefit of being in that mountain time, is that like you can catch stuff early on in the day, and then like those late games, like those LA games and stuff like that, those late night games, it's still like a relatively decent time out there.
Yeah. You know what's weird though, bro, is like we don't change, which I thought was going to be like simpler because we don't change our time zone ever. There's no daylight saving times, but everyone else does. So it's weird because like you guys are now 2 hours ahead of us, and California's an hour behind us. Like Arizona's always trying to like figure out, like, it's weird. Everyone else changes.
Hold on, wait. Ways. That I did not know that.
Yeah. California right now it's 1 p.m. or 1:07. Here it's 2:07. And like then we gotta be like, okay. And now in the East Coast,
but I didn't know that Arizona didn't go through daylight saving.
They're just like, fuck that shit. We're not doing that.
They're like, to do what? That's crazy as hell. But it like I always wondered why we did. I mean, I get it because the sense of that, like, we just get more daylight, right, during the winter months because we don't. But
I want to say back in the day it was for farmers. I'm pretty sure that's why they did it. Like, so now it's like, well, I guess farming is still a thing, but like I think that was like the reason why. But to the rest of us, we're like, what the fuck? You're right though. It does make sense though, I guess, because like the days get longer and whatnot. And it's I don't know about over there, bro, but it's like dark at like 5:30 here now. It's crazy.
Bro, especially before we hit daylight saving time, and it'd be like pitch black dark at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes me more tired. I'm like, I feel like it's bedtime.
Yeah,
like, bro, it's 8. Like,
you get energy from the sun, right? Like you get it. So that's how everybody says, like, you just get more sluggish during the winter because we just not meant to be outside in the winter, bro. Like,
for sure, man.
We're meant to be inside. But what else I want to say? I feel like every state needs to adopt what Arizona's doing. I'm down with that.
Just forget it.
I'm completely comfortable with that, right? But I will say what's dangerous about that, especially during the winter, is I had this instance where, come home from work, just tired, took a nap, and woke up in a fucking panic.
Yeah,
I looked up and I saw the time and I was like, oh shit, I'm late for work. And started like rushing and shit like that. Then I was like, hold on, what the fuck am I doing? I already went to work.
Yeah,
bro. That shit is terrible, went to work. Bro.
It was still that night.
Like, bro, yes.
Yeah,
legit,
that's
like
scary.
woke up, started throwing my fucking work clothes on. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? I already went to work, bro. The worst fucking feeling ever, bro.
Yeah, dude, that shit's no joke. I saw a funny thing today. It was like when you get up too fast, same thing. I was like, you feel like you're late and you get up too fast, and it showed like all of the like alert icons in the car like lit up. I was like, that's so accurate. I feel so like out of it when I just jump up real quick like that and I'm all dizzy. Man. So what, you think we should all just not do daylight savings time, or you think we should all just stay on one time? Like the whole country?
Yeah, like there's no point. Like I just don't think we need to do daylight savings time.
But not time zones. You think we should keep the time zones?
I think that the time zones I think makes sense.
Yeah. Because of the sun.
Yeah. But the daylight savings time thing,
yeah, no, I'm with you there. It'd be interesting to see like if it would be different if we didn't do that. Like, well, I mean, again, I guess it's no different for me now, but for you guys, like if you just stopped doing it, like would anyone even notice? Like, or would it be like some big fucking
thing? Is it like we're missing maybe an hour or 2 hours daylight because we may be sleeping?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
I don't know, man. You've been in the gym a lot?
Have been in the gym. Went yesterday. Earlier this week. No, last week when I got back, I went and I just want to kind of max out on chest, kind of see where I was at. So I failed at 295.
Oh yeah, I saw your video.
Felt pretty good about. Like I felt like I was a bit tired at that point. But the fact that I was able just to get it up somewhat and kind of like felt like I was right at that threshold. So I'm gonna give it another week or two and then come back at it and see what we can.
What do you like? What do you rep at? Like 225?
Yeah.
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 Nice. Fuck yeah. How long did it take you to get there? Was that like a slow build to get it? Because that's
it was weight, because I am like for anybody that knows me knows I'm not a big person. Like I don't have a lot of mass. I'm very lean body.
Hmm.
So for me to be able to put, to rep out 225, get to that, it took some time.
Yeah.
It took some time. It also just took for me to just like put some weight on too.
Hmm.
And then, working with my homeboy, shout out to my homeboy Darian Miller. He just worked with me as far as like my grip, my positioning, technique. Like it literally is an art to it, bro. As
I
far
need
as like
someone
especially
like your boy then, bro, because like
yeah,
I can't bench. Like I don't know what it is, if it's just my technique or what, but like it's so hard for me, bro. Like that's just
yeah.
yeah.
Like he helped me as far as like positioning your hands because oftentimes you get it on your bar and you're bent, you're bent
Okay,
like this. And so right, you're not getting the force that you can get from your palm.
that makes
Right. So
sense.
you
Yeah.
really want to get it to where you're right and you straight so that way you can really just force it up.
Hmm.
So that helps. And then my homeboy Hugh mentioned to me around like when you're maxing out and everything, one thing that you want to do when you get on the bench is like kind of clench your shoulder blades. And
Hmm.
that's how you get that little bit of that arch in your back.
Hmm.
But then as you're pushing out, you almost want to push out and like exhale that air out, but push it hard. So type of
Gotcha.
thing, right? And it's literally all this energy that's building up to you just getting all this fucking weight off you.
Gotcha. That's really interesting,
So
man.
yeah, both of them really kind of just taught me a lot about it, and it has really made a huge difference in like the incremental like gains I've been able to do as far as my bench.
Nice, man. I gotta get on that because I do a lot more like dumbbell benching and like cable flies and shit like that because some I don't know, it just must be my technique. Like when I'm on just a
Mm-hmm.
regular barbell bench, bro, like I can't like it's like I'm just repping like 135 because anything more than that, like I'll just start fucking failing. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I have like a
Yeah,
mental
I
hurdle.
mean, you just got to put in the work. It's just put in the work, and then really just I think for you, oftentimes what I see people do is like their grip is too close
Mhm.
and we have longer arms so you need to go out a little bit wider and you think about the strongest shape that there is like that triangle shape, right?
Mhm.
And so and the good thing, so that's the strongest that you're at, and then also it's the shortest distance for you as well, because if you're closer you have that full rep range with your arm motions, but if you come out
That's a good
wider
point.
it's just here, right? And then you also are better able to keep your elbows up under you.
Yeah, fuck those little people with like the little arms and they're just
Bro, I
benching so
get
much, man.
so fucking irritated, bro. You see these dudes that's like 5'8", 5'9",
Just
throwing up
repping
like
it.
325. Like, fuck you, bro. You ain't even got to do half the lift that I have to with this shit. Oh,
And they always talk shit. It's like, oh
like, bro,
man.
like, take your old little dwarf ass. I shouldn't say that's a bad word. Don't say that word, kids. But, like, take your ass home somewhere, bro. Grow up. Literally, grow up.
I love it, man. Kevin Hart height.
Like seriously, it be repping, bro. You like how are you look that's over here doing this? Take your ass
Yeah,
home somewhere,
that
bro.
shit's irritating, bro. I
It
can't stand
is,
that.
dog. Or even with legs. Like, and one thing I remember one time I was in the gym and I was had like what was it? What 315 and I was squatting and I was repping out. Had to do was like one dude looked like that's impressive for somebody your height. Like he literally came to me. He was like, especially how low you're getting. That's impressive, bro.
Hmm.
I was
Oh, he said
like,
that to you?
yeah, he could do this. He was like, that's impressive as hell.
Nice. Hell yeah. Legs are like,
So
honestly, bro, I know everyone shits on legs, but like they're one of my favorite workouts because like no matter what I do you ever like with other muscle groups feel like you'll be done for the day and you're like, I don't know, man. Like I just did not shred that muscle like I really wished I had. Like there's times I do a workout and I'm like, I just didn't hit the way I wanted it to. But like every time I do legs, I know like the next day my legs are gonna be
yeah.
fucking just like I'm not gonna be able to walk. Like I love it. Like it's amazing. It's incredible. Like
the I would say the only time where I kind of get that feeling where I'm like, damn, I don't know if I hit that all that well is shoulders.
mhm. Okay.
Even though I enjoy working out shoulders, I like usually have that feeling like, damn, I don't know, like I'm not
Interesting.
really feeling it. But anytime I hit chest, back, I love hitting back. And legs,
Yeah,
I'd be exhausted, bro.
me too. Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's the chest. Like everything else, like shoulders. Like sometimes I get what you're saying, but I just got to start doing some shrugs at the end of my workout, and that'll just kill me. And then tries are the easiest for me, man. Like no matter what I do for tries, I'm like, this feels incredible. Like I can just feel the burn, you know. The chest, I don't know if it's just like, you know, everyone's body's different and like your range of motion on certain machines or like what you do. Like I don't know. Sometimes, dude, I'm just like I'm not feeling like I'm hit. Like even if I do push-ups, sometimes I feel it more in like my fucking back sometimes than I do in my fucking chest, man. I don't know. It's really interesting. I got some issues. I got some issues with my chest I got to figure out because
I think you just got to work on your body positioning and your technique, and I think you'll probably figure it out.
Yeah,
too damn big to be throwing up only 135.
I know, man. It's embarrassing because I used to like max. I used to be able to hit 225 a couple times, and then I've just been boxing over like the last year now and not really weightlifting. And over the last 2 months, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start lifting again. And now I'm like, it's like pathetic. I'm like benching 135.
I got dudes in there looking at you like, what the fuck is this big dude? Like he looked like he in shape, but like, why is he?
Exactly. It's a fucking illusion. I'm not. It's just a look.
But Ethan's like, yeah, but fuck with me in this box, fuck with me in these hands, and you gonna get your.
Yeah, I mean, not in that gym, bro. That's the thing. I'm like the low of the food chain in there. I don't fucking know what I'm doing, bro. Yeah, I don't spar or anything like that, man. I'm just in there fucking working out. Like some of these dogs are like in there getting it. I'm like, shit. That's a whole other thing, bro. Like, I think I could do good for a round or two, but also with stamina, bro. Like if I was like a 6 rounder or something like that, I'd be like, by the end of like a couple rounds, I'd be like,
what was the Toronto player after the game? Like he just fell into the seat.
Oh, I saw that. I don't remember who it was.
Like after that, it was like Chris Boucher for the Raptors. He just like fell in the seat, like fuck.
I did see that. Like, that was crazy. Dead. That was crazy. Was that recent?
That was like this week.
I saw a video that recently.
Thursday, he was done, bro.
Yeah, absolutely gassed.
Talking about this week, I mean, we got to talk about like the return of Klay and Kyrie. Klay is today.
Yeah, he comes back tonight, bro. That picture I think was crazy. Just seeing like how different the league looked like when he played last. You know,
it was insane, bro.
Because it was his last game 6 of the finals, when they lost to Toronto. Wow, that's so long ago.
I think it was game 5.
May have been.
They lost that next game without him, I believe, or something like that. But yeah.
Wow. That was so long ago, man.
It was.
Like I remember where I was watching that. Like that's crazy. That's just a different time of life, you know?
But I mean, like everybody says, it's just the game is different without him, bro.
Mm-hmm. It is. He's just one of my favorite players, dude. Even when I hated the Warriors, like he's one of those dudes you just can't like because he's so electric with the 3, but like he also I love him because he can D up anyone. Like he's such a good perimeter player. Like he would fit in. I don't know if you could argue. I mean, there's always an argument. So I want to see what you have to say to this. But I would argue he's the most like interchangeable superstar. And like you could throw him in any fucking team and he would just make it like he's not going to fucking cause issues or problems with it. Like all he's going to do is bring amazing defense and just like shoot the shit out of the basketball. Like there's
legit.
He's going to make any team better.
The thing is with Klay is that you're going to have plays that are ran for him, but it's not going to be like plays where it's going to require a lot of dribbling, right? No, like he's literally the ultimate Ray Allen type of individual, right? Where he doesn't really need the ball. I mean, hell, he scored 60 something damn points off of 11 dribbles. Yeah. And what was it, 3 quarters?
Yep.
Or some shit like that.
I just watched that video today. It was funny.
Insane. So it's like the dude really doesn't need that much from an offensive standpoint really ran for him, and he's still going to do his job and do it fucking effectively.
That's like the way we used to talk about KD last year, bro. Same thing. Like it's like he doesn't even need the ball in his hands that much to fucking put up 30. You know, it's crazy. He's just he's on another level.
He is.
I think he's the second greatest shooter of all time already, too, bro. Like I know, like that's an argument. I'm not saying that's like definitive, but it's like just from like my eyes, like holy shit, bro. He's like, oh my god. That dude is insane.
You haven't seen anybody do what he's done from a pure shooting standpoint and be able to put up the numbers that he has, right? Like, and he doesn't handle the rock like that.
No,
rarely ever. It's literally just him shooting, and he spot up places coming off of down screens and stuff like that. And it's just you put up this situation where it's like, who would you rather have shooting like a game-winning 3? Would you rather have Steph or Klay? And I'm like, that's a really tough question.
It is, right? if you're giving someone the ball and like go do work and take the three, I'm probably gonna say Steph. But if it's just like an open set shot, yeah, like I don't. That's hard to argue. Klay, man, his shot is so like you said, Ray Allen. Like just the form is perfect. Like it's just like balance, perfect elbows. Like the stroke just looks beautiful.
Man, so I'm excited to see him come back, and I'm sure just the energy in the fucking arena is gonna be nuts, bro.
It is. What's going on with Steph, man? I guess I hadn't realized over the last couple weeks, but I watched ESPN the other day, and they were like, because they were talking about the MVP race, and no one was saying him, and I was like, why the fuck is no one mentioning Steph? And then they were like, they brought up that like over the last 2 weeks, he's been like shit in the bed. So I didn't know
he
that.
has been. I don't know what the hell going on with Steph, bro. He hasn't been looking all that good these last couple of games.
Yeah, they were saying like I don't know. He's probably played since the couple days since I saw this segment, but they were like the last couple of games he's like 2 of 17 for 3 or something like that. And I was like, damn, bro,
because he looked fucking terrible. He was 5 for 24 against the Mavs,
and he'll do that sometimes throughout his career, man. Like that's not like uncommon for Steph. He'll just have random little moments where. Yeah, it's like it's a live and die by the shooting type thing, you know, because he doesn't really get down in the paint all that much. He doesn't really, you know, have a mid range. He's just so when his shot's not going, it looks pretty
like
bad
his last
sometimes.
His last two games, bro, he shot 17.6% field goal percentage, 10% from the three, and then 20.8% field goal percentage and 11% from three.
Damn. I mean, that's gonna turn around. I'm not.
I mean, of course.
About him.
I mean, he's still shooting. He's damn near still shooting like 40% from.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. He dropped down to like 39. I was like,
yeah,
wow,
so
he dropped down to 39. Holy shit, what was he at? That's fucking crazy.
So,
man.
but and then so I mean, I think things are going to start to change in the MVP race because Giannis is starting to come on.
Mm-hmm. They're saying him, KD.
I think they have to figure out their defense in their home when they're at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like for them to be 11-10 at home, that just doesn't.
I gotta have DeMar in there, bro.
Like DeMar's been hooping.
I gotta have him in the top 5 of that conversation at least, man. Like, I mean, I think they're number 1 right now, right?
Yeah, and by like 2.5 games.
What about Phoenix? I haven't really watched much of their games. Like, are Book or Chris Paul really going off, or is it more of just like a team effort?
Not much, not really. Chris Paul has just been solid, bro. That's what it's just, he's literally just been solid. You know what I mean? And since I don't know, bro. Yeah, but I don't think it's like MVP worthy type of stuff. But did you hear like randomly they were just having these conversations around the fact that like trying to put Draymond in the MVP race?
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yes. They were like, if you think about it, you put Draymond in the context of his position and being like a true point guard, like he has really good numbers.
He does, man. He's averaging almost 8 rebounds and 8 assists a game. But
right. But then he's also averaging like 8 points a game.
He is the most bizarre player I've ever seen, bro.
You know what I mean? So, but I think what it is that like they want to take out this fact of like looking at the points perspective and think about his impact from a defensive standpoint, which I get it because they have more than enough scoring on that team.
Mm-hmm.
But you also can't take it from the fact that like dude is averaging 8 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, if Steph wasn't there, I don't know. It is kind of messed up, though. I do totally agree with that. Like, it is interesting that, like, we really value scoring more than anything because I think that's what we see. That's like there's numbers to it and it looks pretty, but it's like defense is just equally as important. So, like, if someone's like an incredible defensive player but not so good offensively, like, there's no chance they're going to win the MVP. But on the other end, even though Steph was, like, the leading in steals that year he won the MVP, like, no one thinks Steph's a good defender, you know what I mean? But it's like he's incredible offensive talent. So
yeah.
I don't know, bro. What
so
about Bron, bro? He's going nuts at center, bro.
He's been balling.
They're like 6-0 right now with him at center.
And then the thing is too, I mean, no offense, but they haven't really been playing like the greatest team in that stretch, right? Like he over here talking about I'm a motherfucking problem, and you're talking to the Kings.
Yeah, that's
bro. Like you're talking to
does.
a 16-win team.
Yeah,
right. So like I get it. Like it's still great numbers. I don't want to take it from the fact that like he is putting up fantastic numbers, and I think he put those numbers up against other teams as well. But it's the fact that like you are in close games with these teams that you probably shouldn't be in these close games with.
No, I'm with you there, bro. I think they play the Grizzlies tonight.
If Ja Morant playing, they go lose. Because like I'm not gonna. Ja Morant may need to be in that conversation too.
I was gonna bring him up too, man. He's going nuts.
Like that dude.
I don't think he's playing because for like the leader or the leading stats for like that matchup, it's showing Desmond Bane as their leading scorer. So I don't think that means
it's going to show that because he hasn't played like a certain number of games.
Oh, okay.
So they'll show whoever like has met like that requirement to meet, things. So yeah, but he like Ja has just been putting on a damn show, bro.
He has.
Like
he really has, bro. He's a top 5 point guard for sure already.
Yeah.
I mean,
Desmond Brain even mentioned this. He was like, if he was like, forget top 5, like he needs to be in a conversation for best point guard in the league.
Easily, yeah.
And I was like, damn, like.
I mean, this year, if we're talking about this year, I think he's better than Dame this year. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I love Dame.
There's a couple of players that's been better than Dame this year. He hasn't.
Yeah. It's just been, a weird year for him. But
I would say like the only point guard that you would say that he hasn't played better than would be Steph.
And like definitively. Yeah.
And that's it. Everybody else, he's been playing better than.
Yeah, he's like a more athletic Chris Paul is what he reminds me of, bro, because he's so consistent. He's such a good like floor, like he's such a pure point guard, man. But like he also has just like bunnies. Like he'll just like go off on people, bro. And he's got a smooth shot. I like him a lot, man. I think he's gonna be.
I compare him. I feel like more to like a smaller version of Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm. I knew that was coming. Yeah, that explosiveness is just.
It's just he's so explosive. He can.
I feel like he plays smarter than he did in his prime, though, and Russ, man. Like I just feel like he's so. Mentally, like he's I don't know, bro. I don't see him make stupid mistakes that piss me off. Like our boy in LA.
I mean, Russ is just that's been Russ's whole entire career, and he hasn't like adjusted or just like made the changes he's need to. And Russ is frustrating. Like it's frustrating.
Yeah, he is, bro. I've been saying it forever. Like it's like I feel like it's like a consensus thing now. But I've been saying this for like the last 5 years, and people still loved him. And they're like, "No, you're a hater." I'm like, "No, bro. I just don't like." He's frustrating to watch, man. Like, he's so frustrating. When he runs 100 miles an hour and just launches it off the backboard on a layup, and you're like, "Bro, what are you doing, man?" Like it's like watching a spaz. Like I don't
like he.
And I can't take the competitiveness away from him. Like, that's awesome. He's got fire for sure. But, like,
yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Like, I would be furious if I was on the court with that dude. I can't.
Wait. And then he made that comment earlier this week around, like, almost making it seem as though, like, if I get a turnover, whatever, like, I can do that.
Yeah, isn't he leading the league by far in turnovers?
Like, it's like 6 or 7 again. Like, it is terrible.
Yeah, insane. Almost as many as because he averages 8 assists a game, so he's like almost 1 for 1.
Legit up there, bro.
That's
horrible. It's like, come on, like
that's horrible.
You got to be better than that. So, what about Kyrie in his return? What you think?
In that game, he looked beautiful. He had the 24 points. Has he played since, or
no? They haven't had a game since. He's Russ is averaging like 4, damn near 5 turnovers a game.
Yeah, that's horrible. Not good for 8
Not
assists.
At all.
That's just a bad ratio. Yeah, he looked really good, man. It's like Kyrie didn't even miss a beat. I was expecting him to be a little more like winded and kind of like not in 5-on-5 shape, but he looks like he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took him a minute just to kind of get into the flow of the game and just set himself. Now, I'm pretty sure like his energy had to be like just high, right? And he was just ready to go. But like once he started, like he looked like he had been playing all season. Like dude just looked smooth, moves was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just the game just comes. It's so crazy. Like you had those players where we had this conversation where the game just comes so naturally to them, and you can like he's just one of those players where he's born to play basketball, bro.
Yeah. You might make the argument there's not a dude that exemplifies that more than him, dude. Like
Legit.
since I've seen him at Duke, like the first game I ever watched him, I was like, he looks like he's just on like another level than like everyone else on the court, you know? Like as far as skill, it's insane. Insane.
It is. And I'll be really interested to see like what happens with that. So they asked this question. You tell me, what do you think? You're Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Are you preferring to be the 1 seed or the 5?
Yeah, because you want more away games, right? That's very interesting, bro. And I don't know how they'd even go about doing that because they're solid. No, actually, everything's bunched up right now because they're only 3 games out from the 5 seed. Philly's 3 games behind them. So yeah, you definitely would rather be. You want as many games with Kyrie in your lineup as you can, you know? And that way you solidify basically that even if you make it to the finals, because there's like a very low possibility you're going to make it to the finals and the person on the other side is going to be lower than a 5 seed, you know? So you're at minimum going to have, you know, in 6 games, as many games with Kyrie as you're not. And then in a
well, this is the thing.
game,
that's only if they do not play Golden State. Because Golden State has that vaccination requirement.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Bay Area, they have that vaccination requirement just like New York does.
So he would be just out.
Yeah.
Or if like one of the LA, well, I don't think either of the LA teams are going to make it. But yeah, wow. That's very interesting. So they got to like kind of hope. And I wonder what this means for the future seasons. Is this just like indefinite now until?
Well, you know? So it's not an NBA protocol that's in place with this. It's New York City mandate. So their mayor is the one that's mandating for any type of indoor anything that you have to have that vaccine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the NBA just has to abide by it.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, again, is this just going to go on? Like, is he just an away player for the next, you know, until he goes somewhere else or until?
Who figures it out? Who knows, bro? Who knows what happens unless the mayor decides to change things with that, because they do have a new mayor. But he stated that he wasn't going to change any of that requirement. But who knows?
Yeah, that's very tough, man. Yeah, you'd rather you obviously aren't going to tell your team to tank or not play as good, but you definitely prefer to slide down a little bit because I would make your road a little tougher, I'd say, because then you'd have to play probably Miami or Milwaukee or Chicago, you know, early on. But I think Brooklyn with Kyrie is right there is one of the best teams in the league, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
That's tough, man. And then, they're just banking on, like you said, just on Golden State not making it on the other side. That's incredible. And that would be crazy too, man, because think about the asterisks that would kind of put on that finals, you know? Like, that would be very irritating.
Like, seriously.
I'd be pretty upset.
I mean, I don't know if I would. I'd rather just have I would rather just get the 1 seed if I were them and just deal with it. Because they're still not even full right now. Like they're still missing Joe Harris.
Yep.
And Aldridge has kind of still been in and out of the lineup as well. So I would still kind of just rather have like that momentum and that energy of being the 1 seed than taking the risk of being at that 5 seed.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you. Is Blake still out of the lineup, or has he been playing for him?
He's been playing, but it's like minimal playing. Like I think yesterday he played maybe like 7 minutes or so. So it would be quite interesting to see what happens um with regards to like how they decide to deal with it. But because like even like Canada has gotten back to the fact of where like they're not even allowing fans in the stands again.
Oh, really? They're going back to
Yeah.
like how it looked a couple years ago.
Yeah. So, but so I had to ask you this question. I had a friend host this, and him and I were kind of have a bit of a back and forth. Just talking about Jordan.
Okay.
So he said, "How can someone be the greatest of all time and you don't lead in any? You don't have the number one spot in any statistical category."
I don't like that argument at all. Just personally, I don't like. You mean like all time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he played like 13 seasons. I mean,
15.
Well, yeah, he had 2 with the Wizards, if we want to count that. But
so, and this is so he was mentioning around like, numbers are definitive, which not to say that they aren't, but they are, right? And so he was like, you look at Steph, and Steph is made the most 3-pointers ever, right? And so he said like Steph can literally have the definitively say I'm the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, right? I made the most. And so I gave him a statistical category that Jordan actually does lead. Points per game.
Oh, really?
He's at 30.12.
Like yeah.
Right. And I think Chamberlain is just under him at 30.06.
I think he leads all time in like either plus minus or PER too. He's one of those two. Like he's up there. LeBron's up there. So that's really I don't like that because again, like he only played like 13 with the Bulls, 2 with the Wizards, and it's like how do you compare that to someone like if we're just basing it off numbers and let's just take scoring? I don't think Kareem's the most talented, best scorer of all time. He just played a really long time. He's a great scorer, but
bro, Jordan is the only one in the top 5 scoring that didn't play at least 1,200 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else in that top 5 scoring played at least almost 200 or more games than him. Kareem played damn near 500 more games than him.
Yep, exactly.
If we were to take Jordan's average and put the same amount of games that Kareem played, he would dwarf Kareem's total by 10 grand.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I would probably do it like more tiered because obviously as he got older, he wouldn't be scoring 30 points a game, but he'd still easily be the highest scorer of all time.
Even if you put it at 25.
Probably 20, dude. Honestly. Like, yeah, it
would dwarf it.
I'm totally with you there. I don't like that argument, man. Like, again, like, how can you? Kareem was a great player, and he's one of the greatest of all time. But like, I'm never gonna say the greatest scorer of all time has never made a 3-point shot. Like, that's insane to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I look at like the totality of like what you can do. Is it like same with like Shaq or something like that? Very dominant, but
yeah,
he can't shoot a jump shot. So it's like, how can I call you the greatest scorer of all time? Like, but there's an argument right there. People will say, is it all around what you can do, or is it just like what you did so dominantly that, you know what I mean?
I think for me, that's what it matters. It's like if you are that dominant at your game, because putting the ball in the bucket is putting the ball in the bucket, no matter what it is, whether you get dunks and layups, hook shots, or if you get in jumpers. Now, one probably requires a little bit more skill than the other, right? And accuracy because you're not as close, but there's skill on both sides because we've seen big men that haven't been able to do the stuff that Shaq was able to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And so that's where people differ with it. And that's why it's just like a subjective argument, man, because like I always say too, I don't like, I can only judge people I've watched, but like when I think about it, like I favor LeBron over like someone like Kobe who I watch because like I just feel like LeBron is a better all around player, but like you also can't like I totally understand what people say when it's like, yeah, but look at Kobe. He was like the carbon copy of Jordan. He just fucking killed everyone. All his buzz, you know, you just ice in his veins. And it's, you know, like I can't argue that, but it's like I just feel like LeBron's a more well-rounded player, even if he wasn't as dominant, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
I mean, to say that like LeBron is not dominant is just not true,
no, exactly.
right? I just don't think that he had like that same level of like scoring prowess
Mm-hmm.
that like Kobe. Remember, like Kobe had what was it like those 5, 6 games
40
where
points.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Um,
that was nuts.
so I think there is some balance that kind of goes into all of that, but it was just an interesting argument that my homeboy and I, because then he almost kind of made it as though like points per game didn't mean the same as like as total points,
I don't like that.
and I'm like that. Now you're what I told him. I was like, you're adjusting the goal now,
Yeah,
right? You asked for what was a statistical category that Jordan led in, and I gave you one,
yeah, and then you changed
and
the
it was
argument.
related to points. But now you're like, oh well, it's not. He's not total point. I'm like, that wasn't your argument. Don't adjust the goal to fit your to fit your perspective.
No, exactly. No, I'm with
So
you there. But it's all again, totality of like your career is such an interesting argument because I've said this to people before too. Like, if you just like take this little experiment, like this little example, like what if there's some dude that came in the league and just like he only played like 8 seasons or something, but murdered and won like 4 or 5 rings and just like averaged 30 points a game and then just retired after like 5 years. It's like, are we going to sit there and be like, that's not one of the greatest players I've ever watched? Like, if Mahomes retired tomorrow, I'd be like, he is easily a top 3 quarterback I've ever seen ever. It has nothing to do with his career yards or his Super Bowls or whatever. It's just like, holy shit, do you see what this
talent,
fucking dude's doing? Yeah, like it's
talent.
insane, you know?
Yeah,
So
but I think there is something that have to do with like longevity,
definitely. Yeah.
right? Because I mean, much to your point, and we have 2 examples here in Detroit: Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Barry played what 10 seasons, maybe,
Yeah. I think
and he's
Calvin
still
like that too.
considered easily one of the best to
I think
ever
the
play the
best is what
game.
people say, you know,
Yeah,
honestly.
right. And didn't
Yeah.
even play. He played in 10 seasons and shit. 10 seasons for a running back is still fucking really impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody I think kind of comes in and does that. I don't think that there would be any argument with regards to them kind of being ranked. I think they would start to well, when you start to get amongst those greats, then they start to nitpick about some
Yeah.
of those things, right? You
Splitting
start to
hairs.
nitpick at like, well, he only played 8 seasons. These other
Mhm.
guys played like 10 plus.
Yep.
Right. But at that point, I think you have to start to get into that, right? Because
Mhm.
longevity and being able to do it for over a long period of time, like LeBron has been able to
Yeah.
do, has to speak for something.
Right. I was about to say huge advantage for LeBron there, man. It's almost insane. Like it's crazy that LeBron isn't like on some shit, bro. Like I've never seen someone I'm not like accusing him of him, but it's just crazy that he's been as healthy as he's been,
Bro.
dude. Like it's
Yeah.
his recovery is insane. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He spends like $1 million a year on like his
He spends the money in it.
Yeah.
He spends his money in it. But but yeah, I think you just look at like him, you look at fucking Dirk, and they just retired his jersey.
Mhm.
Like those guys did it for years and were just dominant, bro.
No, exactly. Do you think they were bringing this up the other day? And it was an interesting point. Like, will there ever be a championship again, like Dirk, where like he kind of just was like the lone star and like had like a really good team around him, and they defeated like a team that was clearly considered the better team? Like that to me is one of the most impressive rings in recent history. But the narrative with that was there was so much hate around LeBron that people were just so much like the Heat collapsed, and no one really gave the Mavs the credit. But like if you look at it, like that was an incredible, yeah.
It was just a really real. I mean, they were a more star-led version of like what the Pistons had, right? Like they legitimate had like a star player in Dirk, right? Compared to like the Pistons when they won, it was really like just team ball. Yeah. Even though like Rip or Chauncey could definitely go and drop like 50.
Yeah.
But that team was nice as hell. But I do not know if that's going to ever happen again. I think there's definitely some opportunity. I mean, you maybe look at what Giannis did last year.
Yeah, against what, like the Nets?
I mean, just taking down the Nets, even though they lost all, James wasn't completely healthy. Kyrie injured himself. But you look at the Nets, I mean, because Giannis is a true superstar, and then like outside of that, you got Middleton and Holiday, but like you got, Middleton's a bit of an all-star and Holiday really isn't. He's just a really solid player. So
Hmm.
I mean, you could look at maybe last year with Giannis,
Yeah,
but I mean they weren't going up against a stacked team
that's
like
the
right there
thing.
going up against the Suns. So
Yeah,
like now if he
yeah,
did it again this year and they went up and they like beat the Warriors,
yeah. That'd be
then I'd be like,
crazy.
oh shit. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, this is a big year for Giannis because if he does win again, then it's like then he's really kind of
He's gonna be
asserting
solidified,
himself.
bro.
Yeah,
He's gonna be solidified. He's
right.
definitely gonna be solidified.
I don't know what happened, dude. I was a huge. Not that I don't like him, but I was a huge fan of him. Kind of before the blow up, I could just see. I was like, dude, this dude's a freak. Like he's gonna be like insane. And like now, I'm kind of like bored of watching him play. If that makes sense, I don't know how to explain that. Like I
You
love
know
watching
what
him
you're
on
gonna get.
defense and
You know
transition,
what you're
but
gonna get.
yeah, it's just like offensively, it's like oh, Euro step, dunk, like spin
You know what
move,
you're gonna
dunk.
get.
Like it's just kind
You
of
know what you're gonna get.
you're right. But I don't know. I wonder if I would have been like that because I was really young when Shaq was like really dominant. But like I love watching highlights of like Shaq. Like that motherfucker would just like take two dribbles and just dunk on two people and run down the
Well, I
court.
think it's just because we like hadn't seen like anything like Shaq, and Giannis is very much in that Shaq
Hmm.
prototype. He's just more skilled as far as like
Yeah.
a ball handling standpoint, and a little bit more um, just rangy. I don't
Hmm.
want to say athletic because Shaq, when he came in, Shaq was like bouncy.
Oh, and he
Like
could run
Shaq,
the floor, bro. There's videos of him and the Magic just run like taking the ball
like
coast to
just
coast and just dunking it.
man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I view Giannis in that same type of essence, but I think the game has become so much about around shooting
Hmm.
that I think that's where people start to lose a little bit of that appreciation because like we see these players where these guys and they skill. You look at Kyrie, KD, and like the skill that they have with the ball in their hand,
Yeah.
and Giannis hasn't developed that yet. He's getting there, but it's not completely developed, and so it's just a building more of that tactical skill that I think people potentially want out of Giannis, but I don't know if it's ever going to get to that point
No,
with his
I
game. But we also got to realize the dude is only maybe what, like 28.
yeah, he's got time for sure. Oh, I wanted to ask you, and you're bringing up Ja, kind of like random, but like looking back now, do you think like Pelicans are like we made a mistake? We should have taken Ja.
I mean, it's looking like it right now because they can't
I
even get
would be.
Zion on a damn court.
I just saw a new
Bro,
update with him. They're saying like he's doing rehab by himself, like away from the team or something like that now. I don't know
bro,
what that means,
dude,
but
hold on. You seen that commercial he did, that Mountain Dew commercial he did with Zach LaVine?
yeah,
Bro looked like he been eating hamburgers all off season.
yeah.
Like they were like, no, that's somebody said that's not Zion, that's Booger McFarland. Like, bro, like, like he looked like he's like 320, bro.
He does, man. He does. It would be
And like,
insane if this is like his career and this just plagues him, and he's just like never healthy because he has to be the most hyped player since LeBron to come into like, do you remember him and like it was like that's all anyone talked about was just Zion. Zion. He's going number one no matter what. Zion Williamson. And it was like it's crazy, man. He just hasn't been able to be healthy.
yeah. And the thing is that like with that injury that he has, you can't really put weight on it.
Yeah.
But he got
He
at
got
least a
plenty of
good
weight.
280 that he's putting on it, right? So
Hmm.
that's just a lot of. So I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. I mean, I hope he really does come back because, I mean, the games that he's played in, he's balled out,
Yeah,
but he really has to get his weight under control. Like he has
he
to.
does.
I don't think he has to get. I think if he can get to around like 260, I think that would probably be an ideal weight for him to play at. But him playing at 280, bro, like he's the second heaviest player outside of Boban.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And I
he's
think he
heavier
can
than
do that
Jokic.
because that's what LeBron was playing at, like in the Heat, right? He was like 250, 260. So like when he was like
Yeah,
buff LeBron, like
yeah.
so, and they're like
But
the
I
same
think
height, right? So I mean,
I think Zion's shorter than Brian. Zion only like 6'6".
Yeah, he needs to drop at least 20, at least. But I don't even know if he's 280 now, man. He looks heavier than that to me
Bro,
now.
I told you
So
he 320, and that's what I'm sticking to. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Dog.
I wouldn't
That
doubt it,
dude
bro.
been snacking on burgers all off season.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I can't even imagine, like, because that's probably just such a habit for him now to just eat that much. Like, so that's something that he's really gonna have to figure out, whether it's getting a nutritionist or like whatever. Because I'm sure, aside from the injury, like I'm sure he puts in the work. He seems like he has a good work ethic as far as like working
Yeah,
out, working on his game. It's got to just be the food, right?
is I mean, I would assume it's just like the nutrition piece, and then it's also just the workout. Like you got to put in the work to lose that weight.
Yeah,
But if you can't put weight on that foot, that affects some of that.
yeah. Do you think he's coming
So
back this season?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be able to. I'm afraid it's
Okay.
going to take too long. So quick update.
Yeah, let's get back to the NFL, bro. We got
So it looks like Indy is out.
Steelers beat the Ravens.
Yep, Steelers. So what needs that? This is what the Steelers need to happen. They either need that game with the Chargers and the Raiders to come into a tie, um, or they need one of those, or of course whoever wins. I think so. Either way, I think the Steelers would be in, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they're in now?
I think they would be in. Hold on, let me double check and see what this is.
Titans won, so they clinched the number one.
Yeah, I was surprised that they came back.
Browns beat the Bengals.
So yeah, so what it is that that's what it is. So as long as that game doesn't end in a tie, they will get the 7th seed. That's what it is.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
one has to beat the other. At the end of the tie, then those two teams would um go to the playoff.
Gotcha. Okay. Saints are up 7-3 and they got the ball and they're driving. Let's go. And then it looks like the Rams are up 3-0 on the Niners and they're driving. So, but it's only the first quarter. So
Yeah, so
lots can happen. Stafford's playing though. So I don't know. Cup's playing. I don't know if they're just trying to get him the record or what, because they don't really have anything to play for this game, do they?
well, I mean, if they want to try to keep that 2 seed and just probably potentially have a better matchup.
No, I think you're right actually, because yeah, if they lose and the Bucks win, then the Bucks have a 13-win season and they go to the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. I'm gonna pull up that bracket. We can kind of just like mess with that and see what's good with it. Where'd it go?
And with the damn Lions winning, the Jags got the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm. That's how we do, baby.
We can't even get the first fucking pick.
I think Campbell like just solidified though that he's gonna stay. I don't think like he's probably in for another year. I'd say.
Yeah, I think he'll at least do that. Is this so? If you're a Lions, you're picking what position are you picking?
That's a good question, but they can't go wrong basically anywhere on defense and offensively. I would always like if there's like a stud lineman, but definitely a receiver because we have a good tight end, we have a good running back. I think we stick with Goff just because he's a huge contract and might as well see. We've seen him be really good before. So yeah, if we're going offense, I'm going to say a receiver and then defense, anything you want, baby. Dealer's pick because
Yeah, I would say we either need my 2 pick will either be some type of edge rusher.
Okay, I like that.
Or a receiver.
Yeah.
Because we have no weapons.
Do you think maybe what's his name Hutchinson will be there?
Hutchinson will be there. That's unless the Jags take him, or I mean, because the toss up on number 1 pick is either be between Thibodeau out of Oregon or Hutchinson. So we could potentially get either one.
What about the Georgia DNs? Are either of them coming out? Or
no, well, so they got the tackles.
Yeah,
they got but I think he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, that dude's a monster, bro.
That dude is a big boy.
He is, man.
That's a big boy.
I'm gonna pull this up. So we know that Tennessee's keeping this spot.
Yep.
Indy's out.
Yep. Indy's lost. So whoever wins that Chargers Raiders game, if it doesn't end in the tie, will go to the 6, and then the Steelers would get the 7th seed.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying no matter what, LA or Vegas will jump to the 6 seed where Indy is then?
Correct.
And then Cincy keeps the 3 seed, and this stays the same as well. The Buffalo, New England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's do this. What do you think? Buffalo, New England. That might be the toughest one in this whole.
That literally is the toughest one. Let's come back to that.
Okay.
Let's come back to that.
Okay. No matter who ends up down, we can start at the bottom down here. I think Kansas City. I assume you'd agree is going to win whoever they're playing.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't. I think the only thing is like, let's say the Chargers stay in that at that 7th seed. That's going to be fucking tough.
It is
because they already lost to them earlier this year. But I'll stick with KC though.
Yeah, me too. Because the thing with Kansas City is just their D, man. Their D is so bad. Like I just never know what's going to happen with their defense.
Right.
They did come up big yesterday, though. I don't know if you watched that game. Yeah. They had that big strip sack and touchdown that like won them the game.
Yeah, because Melvin Gordon was going off, bro.
Yeah, he was. He had like a 50-yard touchdown at one point. But I'm going to go Kansas City there.
Yep.
And then Cincy will either play the Chargers or the Raiders, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's no way that LA can stay here, though, right? You said as long as there's not a tie, then this is going to be Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, so as long as there's not a tie, it will be Pittsburgh. But if it is a tie, then the Raiders and the Chargers take both of those, the 6th and the 7th seed.
I got you. Okay.
So I don't know how that's going to play out on who would get the 6th or the 7th seed. I think it probably goes to their divisional record. But
so I think it's
the
safe
Chargers
to say
as the Chargers play Cincy, I don't know if I would just immediately put Cincy winning that game.
Yeah, I'm not putting Cincy immediately winning anything, dude, because they're just young. I really like them, but they're just young, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily trust.
Yeah.
Like, what playoff experience they have over the last fucking 20 years. Like, it's, they're not.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. I mean.
Yeah, man. They're incredible. I hope that if they made a playoff run, I'd be happy, man. I like them. Like
that team offensively is just fucking dangerous.
It is.
With Burrow, Chase, T. Higgins, like Joe Mixon.
Yep. I agree. I'm going to say they're going to win no matter who they play there, honestly, just because. And I think LA is dangerous and the Raiders are also dangerous, but like there's a reason they've lost 7, 8, 9 games, right?
I'm going to go. So I'm assuming, let's say okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to assume that the Chargers are going to win tonight. They'll take the 6th seed. They play Cincy. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win that game. Kansas City will beat Pittsburgh, and I'm going to stick with Buffalo beat New England.
Okay. Where is this shit? Let's see here. Does this work? No. I'm trying to like draw over here, but it's not letting me. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say KC is gonna beat whoever. And then what did you just say? You think Cincy's gonna
lose to the Chargers?
Okay. So then it'll be Kansas City and the Chargers on this side, is what you think? And then over here, you have Buffalo losing to New England?
No, Buffalo winning.
Okay. That's really tough. That might be the toughest one in here.
It's really tough. But I'm just going to trust Josh Allen.
This is my thing, man. And this might sound crazy. I think whoever wins this game upsets Tennessee the next round.
You know what? You probably fucking right.
I'm like confident in that. I don't know why. I really think so. They don't have Derrick Henry, and they play pretty good team ball, but just like especially if it's like New England for some reason, I just feel like New England will beat them. Buffalo, I would also say is going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if that went either way. But I think Tennessee is going to lose in the first round that they play. I really do. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna say Buffalo. I'm gonna say Buffalo wins. I'm gonna have Cincy winning against the Chargers,
Okay.
and then Kansas City winning whoever they play. So then I think we can both agree Kansas City is going to go to the AFC Championship then, right? No matter who they.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I
So you would have then that means you would have Buffalo and Kansas City in the AFC Championship.
think so. Yeah.
I I'm not. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I think that bye is gonna help because they said Derrick Henry may come back.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Did not know that. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. And then I just don't know because they fucking smacked the damn Chiefs earlier this year.
Oh, the fucking Saints just missed a field goal. It's so fucking pissed. So stupid. That's like their luck this year, bro. Even if their star kicker has been out for the season, bro. Like they just suck, man. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Please, when you do this, I need you to run it back. Like at least twice in the video where you like just your whole reaction. Because shit was hilarious.
I will, bro. Oh, it's so irritating. That was like a 20-yard field goal. Motherfucker. Okay. But the Rams are up 10-zip, so
yeah, I think they're pretty set at where
you think so?
at.
Yeah, we'll see there. Okay. So and then what? Do you have Kansas City beating Tennessee or
I think so. I think it's Kansas City beating Tennessee. Now,
what does that mean for Mahomes, even if he doesn't win this year? Like, if he gets back to another Super Bowl, and then, like, in his 4 years as a starter, he's been to the AFC Championship game, 3 straight Super Bowls, won one of them. Like, that's pretty incredible, man. Like,
it is.
That's nuts. He's just rattling off wins.
It is.
All right, let's go to this side then.
NFC.
Well, if New Orleans makes it in again. I don't think they just switch here, or do they? Because the Eagles would have the same record as them, and the Eagles beat the Saints. So then the Eagles would go to the 6th seed, and the Saints would drop to the.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Let's just make sure. That record lines up. Yeah. So if the Saints win today, they're 9-8, and the Eagles are 9-8, and the Eagles beat them. So yeah, that'll be what would happen. Rams will smack the shit out of the Saints. I won't even watch that game, to be honest with you. Like, that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna be happy if we make it, just to say we made it. But
I mean, I don't know, because that I will say one thing about the Saints defense is they're very opportunistic.
I think they have a top 6 D in the league, bro. Their D is great.
Right. And we know lately how turnover prone Matt Stafford has been.
That's true. But then you have to understand, like I just said, I think they have a top 5 D. But I think they have a bottom 5 offense right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle,
right?
And I think it's gonna only activate Donald.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Holy shit. That motherfucker.
So yeah. Rams will probably win big.
Whether it's like they shut out the Bucks, man. It's like they're so bizarre, man. It just depends on, like you said, like if that D is like popping. Like,
but that was also a Bucks team that was like ailing.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not wrong. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of their receivers. So
yeah. So so whether it's Philly or the Saints, yeah. Now let's say if this is the Tampa Bay, so it'd either be the Niners or Philly, right?
Yeah, and I think Tampa Bay wins either way.
I don't know.
Really?
I do not know. If they play the Niners, I think they're going to lose.
Wow. I hope so. I hope you're right.
I really legit think that if they play the Niners, they will lose.
Is there like a reason why?
They just don't have any weapons.
Yeah.
They don't have, like, outside of Gronk.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
Like Mike Evans is injured. Antonio Brown is gone. Godwin is injured.
Antonio Brown's rapping again, man. He's long gone. He's
killing the game. Killing the game. Okay?
Printing fake backs cards on a street stand somewhere.
So I would pick San Francisco in this situation. I think that those edge rushers would get after Brady.
I like it.
Doesn't I don't know if he has the weapons to win that game.
Okay. But Philly, you don't think that's the same story just because their D's not as good?
No,
Or
I don't. I think Jalen Hurts being his first playoffs in the app, I think it may just get to him.
okay.
And I think that D would too. So I think it'd be switch. I think San Francisco's D is the biggest thing. Is the biggest thing for me where I feel like they would get at Tom Brady and he
Okay.
just not having his players.
Well, since you have a split scenario there, let's stay on this side then. Does that matter? Like, do you think LA beats whoever would come out of that? Oh, okay.
Yes,
If you think okay, so LA would beat Tampa Bay even if they get through either of those
I do
teams.
think so.
Okay. So we have LA going to the NFC Championship. I'm with you there.
Yeah,
I assuming like we're saying that Tampa Bay is still hindered because if they're full strength, then like that changes everything. Because I'm not gonna
it does, but they're not going to be. I mean, for sure, we know that they're not going to have Godwin.
okay, that's a good point. Or Antonio, and then Mike Evans. I didn't even know he was injured, so he's not
Mm-hmm.
playing. Okay.
Yeah,
Up here, this might be the toughest one for me, Dallas versus Arizona. That's because like a couple weeks ago, you would have asked me, and I'm actually not a couple, more like 5 or 6. I would have said Arizona, but like Arizona, the last 5, 6 weeks have been like very shaky.
yeah,
So
and Hop hasn't played. Though they said that JJ Watt may be back.
yeah, I saw that he's coming back.
Um, I know Hop is supposed to be coming back. I am going to begrudgingly. I think I may pick Dallas. I just
I
think
I don't not like that. I just want to say like the fan of me would say Arizona because I don't like Dallas, but yeah, I can't either way. Like
yeah, it's just begrudgingly, I'm going to say Dallas. I just think that defense, which is crazy,
yeah,
going from what they were last year, but I think that defense can can be the game changer, especially how much they throw the ball.
yeah,
Like
yep.
like
They're no
in
joke, bro.
like I think they could potentially be playing into Dallas's hands
Mm-hmm.
as far as Micah Parsons,
Mm-hmm.
getting off and having a hell of a game. Um,
You know what I saw that was interesting, bro? And you said it earlier in the season, but like there's a stat on it now, and it was like as many picks as Trayvon Diggs has, he's like far and away giving up like the most yardage like through his like coverage, like in like the whole league out of like any
mhm.
secondary player. I was like, that's pretty crazy. Like,
Somebody somebody said he is I think was it you that said it? Like he's the ultimate Jameis Winston on defense.
no, that was not me. I like that
Somebody
though.
said that like he's literally the Jameis Winston of defense.
That's a good
It's
point.
either going to be a pick or it's a TD.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Do either
So,
way though, do you think that matter? I think Green Bay beats whoever comes out of that.
oh yeah, yeah, I think Green Bay would
And then it
dominate
goes
that.
to Green Bay. Like that's tough for either of those teams to go play in Green
Yeah,
Bay.
I will say this: Stafford has experience with playing in there, years of experience playing in Green Bay. Um, that I'm really gonna have a tough time picking
Oh,
now.
between LA and Green Bay. So what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm really gonna have a tough time picking that. I mean, you just think about that matchups. It's
It's tough, man. That is tough.
it is tough,
And it's one of those things too where it's like every year I look at Green Bay and say like they should be, but then like they do some weird shit in the playoffs, man. Like, you
right,
know what
bro?
I
I
mean?
mean,
Like,
LaFleur wet the fucking bed with that whole timeout situation last year, and then
yeah, I
that
mean, kick the
not
field
going
goal.
for it on fourth down. Like
Yeah, that
I
was
don't.
bizarre. That
It
was
was
bizarre.
yeah. I
I'm gonna say Green Bay though. I don't know. I think it's one of those situations where like everyone saw last year and they kind of let everyone down. I feel like they're gonna break through this year and get back to the Super Bowl.
you know what I am going to. I said that I think this was a potentially be a Super Bowl team at the start when we are doing predictions, and fuck it, I'm gonna stay with it. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Okay, cool, cool. And then on the other side, who do we have? Buffalo or Tennessee versus?
No, Buffalo and KC. I think you said
Yeah, and
Buffalo,
you said Tennessee.
and I said Tennessee, and I think I might have KC in the Super Bowl. So
That I think of. Hmm. Green Bay and LA both have really good defenses, bro. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that works with Kansas City's offense. But I don't know, man. That's really tough. That's because like Kansas City this year does not look like they're really good, but they look mortal. Like, I don't know, the last like 3 years, like I would have just put the house on Kansas City beating anyone. And now I'm just like, I don't know. Like they can clearly be
Well, the thing is that both Green Bay and LA can attack Kansas City where they're weak at, and that's their secondary.
Yeah.
They can completely expose that secondary.
Yeah, who's going to guard Devontae Adams on the Chiefs, bro?
Right.
Or Cooper Kupp.
Or Cooper Kupp, or OBJ, or Equanimous St. Brown, or Lazard, right? Like you have all these fucking weapons. So I mean,
I don't know, dude. I think I want Kansas City to win the Super Bowl this year, but I think Green Bay is going to win it all. That's like where I'm at right now.
If I'm going Rams and KC, and the fact that like it would be in SoFi Stadium.
Is it in LA this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna. I'm gonna trust Patrick Mahomes in that situation just because
he's been there.
He's been there, and Matt Stafford I feel like he finds ways to like throw a pick in the worst situation, and that would win them the game. Even though he will make it close, tight.
It would. God, man, what it would like. Patrick Mahomes is like, everyone kind of like real quick after the Super Bowl last year was like, well, that ends the GOAT conversation. But if he comes back this year and just storms through the playoffs and wins another Super Bowl, I think that opens that like not like he's right there, but like the door's open again for him to like continue down the road. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope he does, man. I just love seeing like greatness unfold. So like, I really hope that like, that's my like, who's you like, as far as like a fan, like who are you rooting for to win it all this year?
I'm low key rooting for Stafford.
Okay.
I would like to see him win. So and LBJ too.
Yeah.
Both of those guys, I think it would be cool to kind of see both of them win and kind of get that vindication.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense. So yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you think if it's between those two,
I'm going with Kansas. I just trust Patrick Mahomes in that situation more than I do Stafford.
Okay. So you've got Kansas City beating LA in the Super Bowl, and I've got
Green Bay.
I got Green Bay beating Kansas City.
All right, so are we doing like a point system for everyone that we get right, and then whoever has the most points, like owes the other one beers?
That's fine. I mean, I'm across the country, but I'll send you a Venmo for like $5 or something. You can go.
$5?
Whatever, man.
I need at least 20 out you. Come on now, $5.
Or you can come out here or something like that.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna come out there. And beers are on you.
I like that. Let's do that. Fuck yeah.
Live. Then we can do one live.
That'd be sweet, man. That'd be fucking dope. I've thought about that too. At some point in the future, we're gonna have to figure that out. Maybe like 10 years from now, this shit takes off and we got like a nice studio somewhere.
There you go.
There
we go. There we go.
For sure. Before we get off though, like, what about the MVP conversation for the NFL? That's another one that's kind of like
there is no conversation.
Okay,
are we serious? Is Aaron Rodgers?
That's okay. I think so too. I think so too. But some people are saying like, no way they can give it to Aaron Rodgers this year. And
that was that one reporter.
Yeah,
and he's a Chicago's Bears fan. That's consistently been getting his ass kicked by Aaron Rodgers for all of his fucking career. So like, just stop being spiteful and dumb and get a man his credit. He's by far,
I agree,
above ahead everybody.
I agree.
He is the MVP.
I'm with you. I think there's an argument for Tom Brady, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I'm not even a Tom Brady fan, but like, man, he's put up like he's far and away the yards leader this year. Their team looks good. Like,
I would be more apt to give it to Jonathan Taylor before I give it to Tom Brady.
Ooh, I like that. Could Cooper Kupp, if he goes off today, like, is there a possibility? I just think because he's a receiver that there's not, but people were talking about that too.
It's like the last receiver I felt like could potentially have been in like the MVP conversation, but the team just didn't win would be Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Right, because you knew how important he was to that team and to that team's success, but they just didn't win.
Exactly.
So I don't know. We'll have to get like another receiver in that same breath for there to be one that could really, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Okay, before we sign off, actually, I do have a question. So now Rams are up 17-0. I think the Niners are going to lose. But if the Saints lose, oh, no, that wouldn't make a difference because Saints do need to win. Never mind. They need to, yeah, never mind. I was going to say if they both lost today, but that wouldn't make sense because the Saints only have 8 wins. So, yeah, they got to win. And
Gotta win.
All right, my man, anything else?
That is all for me.
I'm going to go bite my fingernails and watch this game.
Yes.
See what happens.
Watch and clinch.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you.
All right. Peace out.
All right.